so today we are going to be reading your comments, and I'm going to be reading from the day 118, we found a sick seal, and the question is, when's the last time you saw wildlife? And this comment is hilarious. It's by Jacob Videos. I live by the ocean, so I see seals, jellyfish, and lots of other creatures on the beach, often unfortunately. But last time I saw wildlife was today actually. It was a wild boar that was running around in our backyard. It was mad. It was running into our glass doors, trees, and plants. I don't really know what was wrong with it, but since it is rare... Oh, so much wind.
I know.
But since it is so rare here by the coast, we decided to go up on our roof to watch it from a closer perspective. When all of us was on the roof, one of my brothers was starting to overbalance and accidentally hit my back. He stayed up on the roof, but I fell down on the grass. And the boar saw me, and it started to run towards me. I ran to the door, but it was locked, so I ran around the house screaming to my brothers. It took several minutes to make my brothers unlock the door so I could get in. I feel so bad for him and his brothers, but I'm glad that the boar didn't end up getting to you. Alright, this one is from Lorna Sue. Last time I saw wildlife was when my sister came out of her room. All she does is stay in her room all day, going to the bathroom or just getting food. That's pretty sad if you think your sister's wildlife. This is from Marky Moo Edits. Question of the day. This is his question of the day. Hashtag childhood story. When I was younger, maybe about 8 years old, my parents took me to this lake with my brother so we can fish and catch frogs. While I was eating a peanut butter and jelly because I love food, I saw some geese walking towards me. Being the idiot that I am, I started to tease them with my sandwich. Then they really started quacking and making loud noises, so I yelled back. Unfortunately, that didn't work, so they started trying to bite me. I don't know, but their beaks were snapping at me. I ran to my mom and hid behind her, and they followed me there. Sadly, they won, because my mom took my food and gave them to the geese so they would go away. I still miss my peanut butter and jelly. Well, I hope you've had your peanut butter and jelly since then, and you no longer tease ducks with food because they are vicious. But they're also really cute. This one is from Glenn Godot. Last time I saw nature, back when I lived in Louisiana, there was this house that was fenced in and there was an alligator in the yard. And as Cajuns are, we were all around the chain link fence looking at it and watching these men trying to wrangle
Cajuns?
it. Yeah, Louisiana.
Oh.
Like, New Orleans.
Okay.
Where was I? We were all looking around the chain link fence looking at and watching these men trying to wrangle it, and it went underneath a small sports car that was in an open garage, and it lifted the car up like it was checking the oil or something. It was a good 8-foot alligator. They finally captured it and brought it to the swamps to line out the rest of the days. LOL. That is pretty scary, especially if you owned that sports car. But I don't know why the men were wrangling it, probably just to get it back into the water itself, but that definitely would have been an adventure to watch it. Do they bite a lot? Like
alligators?
Well, I mean, like, if they're just chilling.
That's the only thing they do.
I mean, like, you've been around them, if they're just chilling.
They bite.
Well, yeah.
That's all they do. They walk and bite.
They walk and bite.
Alright, so today I am reading comments from Trying Boba for the First Time. This comment is from Henna Salim. TLDR, I've tried cow's foot. It was disgusting. Do not recommend. I think the question of the day was, what is the weirdest food you tried, or something like that?
Yeah.
Answer of the day, the weirdest thing I have recently tried was cow's foot. We are at a family gathering at my aunt's place at dinner time. On the table there was a serving plate of meat in a sauce. I had never seen it before, so I asked what it was. All the relatives looked at me and laughed. I repeatedly asked them what it was, but no one would answer me. So I took a bite, and let me tell you, the texture, the taste, the smell, it was horrible. They laughed again, they told me it was cow's foot, and continued on their conversation. Later on, while everyone was busy with their food and talk, I took the foot I had and put it on my cousin's plate, who also hated it. He yelled at me and everyone turned to us. They saw that I had nothing on my plate and were proud of me finishing it, and told my cousin to follow my example and finish his portion. No one believed him because I'm significantly older, so I got away with eating a foot. Got away without eating a foot, you mean? I guess you had tasted it, so that kind of stinks. This one's by Vivian Ko. I recently tried my school's lunch. Usually I bring my own because school lunch is unbearable. I grabbed bread and threw it at my friend. It hurt her arm, it was that hard. Not to mention its disgusting taste. I have had school lunches before, and let me tell you, they're no good.
America.
Not in America, at least. America's school lunches are just terrible. At least at the places that I know my school lunch, after I left high school, they started counting calories for people. So it was like the dumbest thing in the world. Like, caloric intake is not how people get fat. People get fat by eating bad food. You know what I mean? So like they
were still serving the same kind.
They were still serving the same kind of really bad food. They were just counting calories, so you wouldn't be able to buy any more food if you maxed out on your calories. So it was kind of silly because you could still just get like 1,000 cookies all day, and that's all, because it wouldn't matter what you're eating. All they counted was calories, so you could just go and get a ton of cookies. So what? Well, whose genius idea was that? Alright, this comment is by Taylor Rock Socks. The boba shouldn't be hard. I only really get boba from this one Chinese restaurant because other places I've tried it, it wasn't as soft and it was more chewy, which it shouldn't be. If that's the only thing you don't like about it, hopefully you can find a place that makes it properly and then maybe you'll actually like it. That is true. That is very true, and that's a good point because honestly, the place that we did have it at, it was very like resistant. So it was like slimy and soft, and then like once you squished it a little bit, it was kind of like really resistant and hard to like
really
go
chewy.
through. It was really, really chewy. Slimy, really chewy and slimy. And that's one of the reasons I had mentioned the popping boba, because that's what I thought it was gonna be like. I thought it was gonna be like a little capsule with tapioca encapsulated within it, but it's not that at all. Regardless, maybe I should try it at another place, but the amount of boba that they put in there, like, that was a lot. So this comment is by Tyra Lucy. A sort of unusual food that I had tried is dried spinach. Spinach itself is not unusual, but when it's dried, it's sort of weird. It doesn't really taste bad, but when you try it a bit, it sort of has a crunch and then it melts in your mouth. It's interesting. I use it in smoothies, and let's just say it tastes better in smoothies, but I do recommend. But recommend, so I'm not sure if you're saying I do not recommend or I do recommend, because there's an N just floating around there. But I get your point. Amanda has spinach in smoothies, like fresh spinach, but dried spinach, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really like spinach altogether. So dried spinach is probably not something that I would enjoy. Alright guys, so thank you very much for watching this. And keep putting your comments down below, and we will, like always, except we missed last Friday, I'm super sorry, we were super busy, but like always, we will try to do Let's Read your comments every Friday evening for your enjoyment, and ours, honestly. And ours. It's carpet!
That was my iPad!
It's carpet! High five! Okay, so you guys know from a couple days ago when I told you that I tweeted Zevia and then I fangirled when they tweeted me back? Well, they did a little bit more than just tweet me back, okay? That is evidently from Zevia. And I just tried to lift them up. They're really, really heavy. I feel bad for our